Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Not the way we wanted the season to end, certainly by any stretch, but really proud of what we accomplished this regular season. Going 22-7 in the league, winning 10 straight league series. We weren't gonna throw our leverage bullpen pieces today. We wanted to rest them for the conference tournament. There just wasn't a lot of value in throwing them. And we just walked too many people today. It's disappointing. The amount of free passes we had, 1, 2, 3, 8 plus the hit batters, just too many free passes. And didn't quite do enough offensively, just didn't stack enough consistent at bats. But again, really great crowd again. Was really happy to see that. Really proud of what this team has accomplished this season. And, we'll have a good couple of days of practice. We'll have a good off day tomorrow and then have a good couple of days of practice and get ready for tournament play on Thursday.
Without getting into specifics about tournament on Thursday, you will be matched up in the pod with Notre Dame and with Pitt. How do you approach those two games? Obviously not knowing which one of those two right now you have to win to advance to the semifinals. Is there value in chasing an ACC championship versus playing for what's to come later?
I think there's value. The one great thing about our conference tournament format is you can't play more than 4 games, which is nice. So, if it were a double elimination, 8-team tournament, something like that, where, you might play 5-6 games, I would say no, there's probably not a whole lot of value in chasing it. However, I do think especially when you have the higher seed and one of your first 2 games is a quote unquote throwaway game, you're really only needing to win 3 games and kind of use your relievers and your arms to win 3. So, we're going to have to do, if we want to win a regional, we're going to have to do that the next weekend. So yeah, I do think there's value in trying to win it because we want to get Hartle out there for another start. We want to get Louder out there for another start. We want to get Keener back out there. Keener, we probably could have left him in today, but it was just one of those things where, he threw 42 pitches in one inning. And it's just not, he wanted to go back out, but it's just not in his best interest to do that. So that's why we pulled him. But anyway, point is yeah, I want to play all 4 games.
There's also value in keeping all those guys sharp and in their routines, correct? That's part of it as well. But if you only end up playing a couple games, then you don't get some guys an opportunity to throw. Guys aren't necessarily sharp during the regionals, right?
Yeah, I mean, we saw that a little bit last year. I felt like, because again, we ended up throwing, Rhett and Teddy in that Miami game, but Josh Hartle didn't pitch at all in the conference tournament. We had some of our bullpen pieces that didn't pitch in the conference tournament. So, just one of those things where I agree. And then same thing with at bats. We want to get Bennett Lee and Pierce Bennett and those guys, to get some at bats and be swinging it well. This last couple of weeks we've been trying to balance continuing to win with kind of keeping us from peaking too soon. I felt like last year maybe we peaked a little too soon last year, and we had to do that to get into the NCAA, to make sure we were in the NCAA tournament. We had to go out there and play well against NC State, and then we got out in the regional and didn't play well. So we want this team to be peaking at the right time, and I think we've got it set up to do that.
Your recollection, you faced both Pitt and Notre Dame this season. What do you remember about those series? Obviously, Pitt blanching the first game, and you guys exploded for 40 runs. I'm having a hard time remembering what Notre Dame offered in terms of resistance.
Yeah, so we won the first game. Rhett Louder pitched the first game against Notre Dame, threw the ball really well. Rhett Louder threw the ball really well against Pitt, so he'll get the meaningful of that, whichever game matters. Both Notre Dame and Pitt have good bullpen pieces. So, I'm hoping that they throw them against each other. But yeah, I mean, Notre Dame's been playing really good baseball. I think they've put themselves in position to be an NCAA at large. In my opinion. So, they're an NCAA tournament team, and, Pitt's going to be in there fighting for their life. And if you look at what Pitt's done in the ACC tournament the last few years, I mean, they've gotten to the weekend, a couple different times and played really well in the ACC tournament. So Pitt's going to come in and they're going to be playing well and they're going to be ready.
Seems like today you just didn't get the key hit that you needed to kind of break this team through.
Yeah, For sure, we needed to tighten it up a couple times. We had a chance to tighten it up, and again, we just couldn't, it got, we got it to 6-3, I felt like, if we could just get 1-0 in there and keep it 6-3 and then come in and score and get to like 6-5, I think the whole game would have been different. But, they came in and scored a 5-spot and all of a sudden it was 11-3. And that, that's when the game kind of turned right there. And, again, free passes were just kind of at the middle. They had 4 innings where they scored more than 1 run. They had 4 innings where they scored it all. And one was a 2-run inning where, we only had 1 walk in that inning, but the other 3 innings where they scored 3 or more, we had 3 free passes in each of those innings. So it's just, it wasn't a great deal. I felt bad for our crowd. I almost feel like I should reimburse their ticket price they paid today.
I have a feeling if you knew the answer to this, it'd already be done, but what's the key to unlocking the Adams two we saw through the first third of the season?
Yeah, he's just got to keep grinding. I mean, I was encouraged by his at-bats yesterday. His at-bats today weren't as good. So we've just got to get him some more looks this week in practice and, just keep hoping that Adam has historically been a slow starter. Usually you look at Adam in January and February, he starts slow and then he kind of gets it rolling when the season starts. Well, he's kind of back in spring training now. And sometimes that's the case. Guys like Kurtzy and Bennett, Costello, those guys historically have come right back and just kind of seamlessly fit right back in. But, Adam and even Reinish, to that degree have come in and, off of an injury and struggled. So, again, we'll figure out, what we're going to do here this week.
We can talk more about this, I guess, when this all finishes out, hopefully in late June. But you had a moment today with your son, able to present the jersey. How special has the season been for you, Tom, to be able to spend it with your son Chase and having experienced this incredible ride with you so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's a special season for a lot of reasons. The way this team cares about themselves, how we've played to date are 2 of the biggest reasons. But having Chase be part of that, it sweetens the pot for sure. I mean, I was a little emotional today just being out there with him. I hate that his season came to an end because he would have helped us today. He would have been a guy that would have been in there today, and maybe we would have been able to keep it, a 5-6-3 game and then change the kind of outcome. But the players have really taken him in. I want to thank our team for that. They've taken him in as one of their own. It's always been, it's never been since day one here. He's felt a big part of this team, and you see him. He's a big part of the energy that the team brings every day. So I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of this team for how they've handled it.
The worried Wake Forest fan would look at the last couple of weekends and see kind of how pitching's going on Sunday and go, the loss of Sean Sullivan has really been impactful. Like, you absorb the loss of Ted McGraw with kind of seamlessly somehow. You absorb the loss of Crawford Way also kind of seamlessly. But it seems like the last couple of weeks without Sullivan kind of bridging together that Sundays become quite a hurdle. How confident are you going to have Sean next week and more importantly the week after that?
Yeah,
full go.
Really confident. He's going to throw a bullpen on Monday. He spun breaking balls and threw changeups today for the first time. So he's right on track with where we hoped he'd be. So, knock on wood, that continues this week, but he'll throw a bullpen on Monday and, we'll know more then. But my sense is we probably wouldn't use him Thursday or Friday just because we'll have Massey and Manassi and Roland, kind of ready to come in behind Louder for the game that matters. So, I don't think we would use him there. Depending on who we need behind Louder, would we use him, behind a Hartle on Saturday if we get there? We could. And then same thing on Sunday. I mean, just depending on he'll throw in the conference tournament. My guess is probably 3 innings is my guess, 45, 50 pitches.
Then I guess one more question about the ACC tournament. It seems like the 3 hottest teams in the league right now are Clemson, UVA, and Wake Forest. Would set up to be a really fun Saturday if 3 of those 4 make the semis, it would seem, right?
Yeah, for sure. Clemson's playing great, and obviously UVA swept Georgia Tech and played well last weekend too. So Clemson's probably the hottest team in the country right now. They're playing great baseball. I mean, they swept Virginia Tech last weekend on the road. You know, they swept Carolina this weekend. So, you know, Clemson's certainly the hottest team on the planet right now. As far as I know.
Thanks, Coach.
Right.
Thanks for having me on Zoom.
Thank you.